When Diana realized she was in love with Barry Mannakee, she was in a terrible dilemma. The police protection officer was married, and she was a royal family member. But in the face of Charles's betrayal, Diana had found someone who made her feel valuable for the first time. This forbidden love would start with an innocent meeting, but would make Diana even consider leaving the royal family. November 3rd, 1985, Sunday morning. The silence of Kensington Palace was broken by light footsteps from Diana's bedroom. Diana Spencer, despite being 24 years old, felt much older. Her marriage to Charles was entering its 4th year, but it was becoming colder each passing day. Diana looked at herself in the mirror. Her face was pale, with dark circles under her eyes. She couldn't sleep at night because Charles was often not at home. He said business meetings, but Diana now knew this was a lie. Camilla Parker-Bowles. When Diana heard this name, she got cramps in her stomach. Charles's ex-girlfriend, but actually still his girlfriend. Diana suspected this, but had no proof. Not yet. That morning, Paul Officer, Diana's private secretary, entered the room. "Ma'am, the new protection officer has arrived. I'd like to introduce him." Diana nodded. Protection officers came and went constantly. Most were cold, distant professionals. Diana barely noticed them. "His name is Barry Mannakee, ma'am." "Very experienced. He's coming from the Metropolitan Police." When Diana went down to the living room, a tall man with warm eyes greeted her. Barry Mannakee was 40 years old, married with 2 children. But when he looked at Diana, there was something different in his eyes. Interest. Real interest. "Your Royal Highness." Barry didn't bow, just nodded his head slightly. "I'm Barry Mannakee. I'll be responsible for your protection." Diana was surprised. Other protection officers always acted very formally. There was a naturalness about Barry. "Pleased to meet you, Barry," Diana replied. When she said his name, there was a different tone in her voice. "Ma'am, if you'll permit, let's review your schedule today. There are security matters I need to know about." Diana and Barry sat in the library. As Diana explained her schedule, Barry listened carefully. But not just for security reasons, Diana felt that Barry was listening to her as a person. "Ma'am, if I'm not being intrusive," Barry said hesitantly. "You look tired. Are you sleeping well?" Diana was surprised. No one had asked how she felt in a long time. Charles certainly didn't ask. "I'm all right, I suppose," Diana lied. Barry looked into Diana's eyes. "Ma'am, my duty is to protect you. This doesn't just mean physical security. Your state of mind also affects your safety." These words deeply affected Diana. Barry saw her as a human being, not just as a protection assignment. "Barry," Diana hesitated a bit. "Are you married?" "Yes, ma'am. My wife Susan. I have 2 sons, 8 and 10 years old." "Are you happy?" Diana suddenly asked, then felt embarrassed. "I'm sorry, that's very personal." Barry smiled. "Yes, ma'am, I'm happy. Susan is a wonderful woman. The children are the center of my life." When Diana heard this answer, her heart ached. The love and warmth in Barry's voice was a tone Charles never used when talking about her. "That's wonderful," Diana said softly. "Love, real love, is very rare." Barry noticed the melancholy in Diana's voice. "Ma'am, forgive me, but aren't you happy either?" Diana remained silent for a long time. Then she looked at Barry. Something changed between them at that moment. "Barry," Diana whispered, "no one has asked me this question for a long time." "You don't have to answer," Barry said gently. "No," Diana shook her head. "I'm not happy. I'm very lonely." Those words hung in the air. Barry couldn't believe a royal family member was telling him something so personal. "Ma'am," Barry spoke softly, "you're not alone." I'm here." Diana looked at Barry. There was sincere interest in his eyes, something she hadn't seen in a long time. In the following weeks, Barry became part of Diana's daily life. He was beside her in the car, at official events, and if she was lucky, at dinner. Diana enjoyed talking with him. "Barry," Diana asked one day while sitting in the car, "what did you do before becoming a police officer?" "I was a soldier, ma'am. Then I joined the police force. I always wanted to protect people." "Why?" Barry thought. "Because everyone deserves to be protected. Especially those who are vulnerable." Diana was very impressed by this answer. "You're a very good person, Barry." "So are you, ma'am," Barry replied. "You're a very kind-hearted person." Diana hadn't heard anyone say good things about her in a long time. Barry's words deeply moved her. A few weeks later, Diana was very upset at a charity event. Charles hadn't come again. "Important meeting," excuse. Diana could barely smile at the event. Barry noticed Diana's condition. After the event ended, Diana started crying in the car. "Ma'am?" Barry asked worriedly. "What happened?" "He didn't come again," Diana said through tears. "Every time there's an important reason, but I know the truth." Barry understood what Diana meant. There were rumors in the palace about Charles having a relationship with someone else. "Ma'am," Barry said gently, "you're a wonderful woman. If no one can give you your worth, that's not your fault." Diana looked at Barry. That warmth was in his eyes again. "Barry," Diana whispered, "when I talk to you, I feel better." "Me too, ma'am," Barry confessed. "Spending time with you, it's different." At that moment, both felt they had crossed a dangerous line. By December, the bond between Diana and Barry had grown very strong. Diana now felt safe beside Barry. In the face of Charles's coldness, Barry's warmth was good for her. One day, while Diana was walking in the garden with Barry, she said, "Barry, you understand me. No one has understood me like this for a long time." "Ma'am," Barry hesitated, "I'm just doing my job." "No." Diana shook her head. "This isn't work. This is something else." Barry looked at Diana. Both understood what it was. "Ma'am," Barry said with difficulty, "I'm married." "I know," Diana replied quietly. "I'm married too." "This is wrong," Barry murmured. "What's wrong?" Diana asked. "Feeling warmth? Receiving interest? Feeling valued?" Barry couldn't answer because Diana was right. That night, Diana lay in bed thinking. Barry's eyes, his voice, the interest he showed her. Charles had never made her feel this way, even before marriage. Diana now knew she was in love with Barry, and this was a terrible situation. Barry was married, father of 2 children, a police officer from a lower class. Diana was a royal family member, world famous, Charles's wife. Nothing could happen between them, but Diana felt alive for the first time in a long time. The next morning, Diana decided to have a formal conversation with Barry. "Barry," Diana said while sitting in the library, "we need to talk about what's between us." Barry tensed. "Ma'am, I love you," Diana said directly. "I know this is wrong. I know it's impossible. But it's true." Barry's world was turned upside down. "Ma'am, please don't talk like this." "Why?" "Because it's true," Diana insisted. "You feel the same thing too." Barry remained silent for a long time. Then he whispered, "Yes." Diana asked with her heart beating wildly, "So what are we going to do now?" "Nothing," Barry said decisively. "I'm going to resign from my position." "No!" Diana panicked. "You can't leave." "Ma'am, this can't continue anymore. We're both married. This is wrong." Diana took Barry's hand. "Barry, please. If you leave, I'll be very lonely. Barry felt the warmth in Diana's hand. He also didn't want this relationship to end. "Ma'am," Barry said softly, "if I stay, this will get more out of control." Diana looked into Barry's eyes. What if we let it get out of control? This question hung in the air. Both knew what she meant. "Ma'am," Barry said with difficulty, "you're the mother of Prince William and Harry. I'm the father of 2 children. We can't even think about this." When Diana faced this reality, she paused. She had children. She had responsibilities. "But I'm unhappy, Barry." Diana started crying. "Charles doesn't love me. He's with someone else. I'm very lonely." Barry wanted to hug Diana, but stopped himself. "Ma'am, I want your happiness, but not like this." "What way?" Diana asked. Barry thought for a long time. Maybe you should learn what's really happening." "About Charles." Diana was surprised. "What do you mean?" "Ma'am, if you're really being cheated on, you need to know this. Stop blaming yourself." This suggestion confused Diana. Investigate Charles? Find proof of his relationship with Camilla? "Barry," Diana asked, "would you help me with this?" Barry thought. He wanted to help Diana, but it also meant getting even closer to her. "Ma'am," Barry finally replied, "I'll help you. But then I'll resign from duty." Diana accepted this agreement. Barry would help her learn Charles's true face, then leave her life. But Diana didn't know that this investigation would bring them even closer, and eventually would leave Diana facing a very difficult choice. Her children and royal life, or real love with Barry? In January 1986, Diana and Barry began investigating Charles together. Barry's police experience came in handy. They started tracking Charles's secret meetings. "Ma'am," Barry said while giving a report one day, "Prince Charles was at Camilla's house in Gloucestershire yesterday afternoon. He stayed for 3 hours." Diana's heart sank when she heard this news. Her suspicions were true. "What else did you see?" Diana asked. "They were very warm, ma'am." They held hands. And Barry began to hesitate. "And what, Barry?" "Please tell me." "They kissed, ma'am." When saying goodbye at the door, Diana felt as if struck by lightning. Charles's betrayal was now definitely proven. "For years," Diana said angrily, "for years he's been deceiving me. I was blaming myself. I was saying, maybe I'm not a good wife." Barry approached when he saw Diana's pain. "Ma'am, this isn't your fault. Charles is blind." "Barry," Diana asked through tears, "what should I do?" "You should talk to him, ma'am. Tell him you know the truth." Diana nodded. "You're right. But this will be very difficult." Barry took Diana's hand. "I'm with you, ma'am. Whatever happens, I'm with you." This touch made both feel as if electrified. It was impossible to hide their feelings anymore. "Barry," Diana whispered, "when I'm with you, I feel strong." "Ma'am," Barry also whispered, "I feel the same thing." Both moved closer to each other. They were about to kiss when the door knocked. Paul Officer came in. "Ma'am, Prince Charles is calling." Diana and Barry moved away from each other. They had almost been caught. Diana picked up the phone. "Yes, Charles?" "Diana, there's an important dinner tonight. You need to be ready." "Which dinner?" Diana asked. "The dinner where Camilla will also be there," Charles said casually. Diana's face turned bright red. Charles didn't know that Diana knew. "Of course, Charles." "I'll be ready," Diana replied in a cold voice. After Diana hung up the phone, she looked at Barry. "I'm going to face Camilla tonight." "Ma'am, are you ready?" "I don't know, but I have to." That evening, Diana had dressed very elegantly. Barry would also be at the dinner as close protection. During dinner, Diana carefully observed Camilla. Camilla was 38 years old, 6 years older than Diana. She wasn't very beautiful, but very confident. Diana caught the looks between Charles and Camilla. The chemistry between them was very obvious. "Camilla," Diana said during dinner, "you talk about Charles a lot. You must be very close friends." Camilla looked at Diana. "Yes, we're old friends. We've known each other for a very long time." "How long?" Diana insisted. Charles got tense. "Diana, why are you asking so many questions?" "I'm curious," Diana replied, smiling. "I want to know my husband's friends." Barry was watching Diana's courage from the corner. Diana was very strong. After dinner, Diana saw Charles escorting Camilla in the garden. They were talking alone. Diana approached and heard. "Diana is getting suspicious," Charles was telling Camilla. "What are we going to do?" Camilla asked. "We'll be more careful." Diana shouldn't find evidence. Diana was shocked when she heard this conversation. Not only were they cheating, they were also making a fool of her. Diana stepped back, but her foot caught on a branch. She made a noise. Charles and Camilla turned. "Diana, were you there?" "Yes," Diana replied courageously. "And I heard everything." Charles's face went white. "Diana, this what, Charles? How are you going to explain?" Camilla intervened. "I'm leaving. You two talk." After Camilla left, Charles and Diana were left face to face. "How many years, Charles?" Diana asked. "How many years have you been deceiving me?" "Diana, this is complicated." "Complicated!" Diana shouted. "We were both married. I gave birth to William and Harry. You were cheating on me. Diana, calm down." "Should I calm down?" I was blaming myself for years. I was saying, I'm not enough. I was saying, I'm not attractive. But the problem wasn't me. The problem was you. Charles couldn't answer. "Charles," Diana asked through tears, "did you ever love me? Really love me?" Charles remained silent for a long time. "Diana, I've always loved Camilla. But you too." "But me what?" "You're important too." "Important?" Diana laughed bitterly. "So I'm second choice. You took me when you couldn't have Camilla." Charles couldn't answer because this was true. "Diana," Charles finally spoke. "What do you want to do?" Diana thought. She could get divorced, but she had children. It would be a royal scandal. "I don't know, Charles. But I know one thing. I love someone else now, too." Charles was surprised. "What? You cheated on me. I'm cheating on you, too." "Who?" Charles asked angrily. Diana smiled. "That's not important. What's important is this. I deserve to be happy, too." Charles was shocked. It had never occurred to him that Diana might be involved with someone else. "Diana, you can't do this. You're the Princess of Wales." "And you're the Prince of Wales," Diana replied. "But this didn't stop you." That night, Diana told Barry about this conversation. "Ma'am, you were very brave." "Barry," Diana asked. "What happens now?" Barry thought. "Ma'am, everything is out in the open now. You're free too." "What do you mean?" "You know Charles isn't faithful to you. You can think about your own happiness too." Diana approached Barry. "My own happiness. Is that you?" Barry looked into Diana's eyes. "I would want that, ma'am. I really would. But this is impossible." "Why impossible?" "Because I'm from a lower class. You're a royal family member. Because I'm married. Because it would be a scandal." Diana took Barry's hand. "What if none of these things matter? Ma'am, think about your children, William and Harry." This stopped Diana. She loved her children very much. Barry? Diana asked after thinking for a long time. What if we ran away together? Ma'am, left royal life and lived like normal people. If I took my children and went with you. Barry was shocked. Ma'am, are you serious? Very serious. I can't live with Charles anymore, but I can't live without you either. Barry thought for a long time. Ma'am, if we do this, you'll lose a lot. Your title, your money, your position. But I'll gain you, Diana whispered, and maybe real happiness. Barry saw how serious Diana was. Ma'am, give me time to think. How much time? 1 week, Diana nodded. 1 week. But Barry, if I make this decision, there will be no going back. That night, Barry went home and looked at his wife, Susan. He looked at his 2 children. He had a happy family. But Diana... When he was with Diana, he felt completely different. Barry faced a terrible choice. His family or a new life with Diana. And Diana was making the same choice. Her children and royal life, or real love with Barry. Both knew this decision would change their lives forever. At the end of the week, Barry would give his answer, and Diana's fate depended on this answer.